Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Inside Lowell podcast. I am your host, 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗃, coming here from the 𝗪𝗶𝘅𝘁cie Studios here in downtown Lowell. And today, we're going to go inside, give you an inside view of one of the City of Lowell's candidates vying for a seat on the Lowell City Council in the at-large race. He is joining us here in the 𝗪𝗶𝘅𝘁cie Studios, and we're excited to have him here. Sixto DeJesus is with us. Sixto, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thank you so much, Daddy, for having me here and meet your audience and tell them a little bit about me and what we're doing.
Well, I'm excited for this because right now you are the only declared candidate for the at-large race, challenging the three incumbents who are in there. 3 people will be elected. There's 4 of you in the race.
Yeah.
So, here's your chance. They're all longtime veteran counselors, and they get a chance to shine, whether it's here or through other media or on the city council floor every Tuesday. So this is your shot to introduce yourself to the folks out there. And I'll ask you the same question I ask everybody when they first run for office. Who are you? Why are you running to become a Lowell City Councilor?
Yes, well, my name is Sixto DeJesus. I'm a Lowellian since 2006. I've been in Lowell all this time, and for the past few years, I've been involved in community work. I'm very passionate about that. And part of my background, I'm a banker. I've been in finance for over 20 years, currently working at Enterprise Bank. I've been a branch manager, and currently I'm a business developer for a region in the greater Lowell area. I work with businesses in the commercial lending, cash management, services, and that's part of my expertise. And I'm also chair of the board of Coalition for a Better Acre, right here in Lowell. And that also has given me the opportunity to learn more about the needs in the housing area, in the market, in our community, and also learn about collaboration, which is my campaign is all about.
Mm-hmm. And you're for a guy, this is your first race that I'm aware of in the area. Have you ever run for class president or anything in school?
No, really, no. I've never run before. For many years, people have been asking me to do this out there in the community, people that I met and see me out there. I never thought of doing that this soon, but something clicked last year, and I felt that it was time to do it.
Okay. And by the way, despite the fact that I may have butchered your name, I used to call you Sixto because I remember being a kid, there was a baseball player on the Milwaukee Brewers. I believe it was Sixto Lezcano.
Okay. Yeah.
And if I called you that at some point, forgive me, but it's Sixto DeJesus is the name. You mentioned something clicked. What clicked that made you decide to run?
I was at an activity where they were forming a local organization, and then there were many people there talking about different issues, and then all of a sudden it turned into people giving some testimonies of how I was able to help them, whether it was with their business or buying their first home or with an advice in terms of things that I share with my knowledge and my experience over time that actually help them in their life. And then they turn it into, we need someone like Sixto in the community to represent us in the city of Lowell. And so that something clicked there when I saw that. I typically like to just be out there giving my best and trying to help as much as I can. But then I realized that there's more that I can do. I've been working from the side of the nonprofit world, trying to help nonprofit organizations, besides me being part of the Coalition for a Better Acre board. But I know that there's more that I can do, especially with all the relationships that I built over time in the community, learning about what the importance of collaboration and the importance of giving a voice to those who don't have one. So something clicked, and that was it. And I said, I have to do it. I have to do it, and I think I'm ready for it, and I am. And I'm all for it.
Yeah, and you mentioned a little bit about your background. Besides the CBA, Coalition for a Better Acre, I've seen you at probably every other nonprofit organization's event. You've been a big part of that, but also in your role as a banker for Enterprise Bank, soon to be Rockland Trust. Between those two backgrounds, different, right? You're banking, finance, and nonprofit. Which one do you think is going to be most beneficial to you if you're successful in getting elected and actually serving the folks in Lowell? Which background do you think will help you the most?
I believe that both. Everything that I've done in my career and personally and professionally is going to help me. Everything that we learn over time is something, you bring tools to the table that will help you. In terms of the finance side in banking, one of my topics for the campaign is economic development for businesses, because I've worked with many businesses in the area. And we've seen, unfortunately, how some have been successful, but many are a revolving door with businesses that close. And I think there's more that we can do as a city. And with the public and private sector to actually help them. So that is from that side of like the finance experience that I have. And then in terms of housing, as I work with Coalition for a Better Acre in their board, I've learned about the housing needs, the market, and the budget, and so all those things, like working as a chair of the board, helped me to work together with many professionals, experts, to understand how to move the organization forward. And that's something that we need to do as a city, to work with those experts and listen to everyone, all the voices, to make sure that we make the right decisions and move the city forward.
Now, you are of Dominican, from the Dominican Republic, of Dominican descent. And so despite the city has a very rich history and a very large Hispanic Latino population, and yet in spite of that, I believe there's been two that I recall city councils: Frankie Dakota, who was Hispanic, and George Ramirez. You have to go back a decade plus.
Yeah.
A lot of folks, once you got into the race, a lot of folks pointed to that as a source of pride for them, that somebody from the Dominican Republic is now actively getting involved and has a chance to be on the Lowell City Council. Do you think of that at all? Does that matter to you? Is it a source of pride?
I have pride. We have to be proud where we come from. So I'm originally from Dominican Republic, and that's where I was born and raised until I came here in 2006. And ever since, Lowell is what I call my home. When I came here to Lowell, I came to what we call the melting pot city, right? So we have a diversity. So I felt right at home, and what I capture from that diversity is what I enjoy, what I'm all for about. And I'm proud of being from Dominican Republic and having the opportunity to run for Lowell City Council, and eventually probably I will be the first one with Dominican descent to be an ex-Lowell City Council. There's definitely a lot of pride in there. And then I think of that to inspire others from that community, from the Hispanic community, and other minority communities out there, that you can do things that if you think that you can give back and you have that dedication to service, to community service and helping your city, you can do it. There are some steps that you can give. And I want to be that inspiration for them. So I think about it from that perspective, on how that can be powerful to the next generation to actually do it.
And I can't imagine that it wouldn't be inspiring, both to you, but also to anybody watching you. Yeah. We're chatting with Sixto DeJesus, candidate for Lowell City Council. He is vying for one of the 3 at-large seats in the city. We're going to get back to the conversation in a quick moment and delve into some of the issues that are central to his campaign and issues that are buzzing around the city. First, let me just quickly thank our Inside Lowell podcast sponsors. Of course, our friends at 𝗪𝗶𝘅𝘁cie At 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗃, your whole health is their whole point. Thank you as well to Washington Savings Bank, banking that feels like home. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. TMI Properties, quality and value at every price point. Find your perfect space. with TMI. Mahoney Oil, providing warmth and protection to Greater Lowell, Southern New Hampshire since 1925. The Greater Lowell Community Foundation, improving the quality of life in Greater Lowell through strategic, impactful philanthropy. Francis E. Preventure Insurance, the agency Greater Lowell has counted on since 1982. Real Estate Ray Booten, licensed realtor, certified appraiser in both Massachusetts and New Hampshire. And by the Massachusetts Pirates, bringing all the hard-hitting action and excitement of arena football to the Mill City. Back with Sixto Lascano. All right, so
Sixto de
Jesus. I said it. I knew I was going to say it. Sixto de Jesus.
Do you want to know something? Sixto, you know what? Sixto, I thought all the time that it was a Hispanic name. And I decided to Google it, and I kept looking and looking. It was hard to find, but it's actually a Greek name.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
So I say that I'm part Greek now.
I like you even more. I knew I was going to do it. If I hadn't done it already, I knew it was coming. Sixto de Jesus. So what are the issues that are central to your campaign when folks when you have to give your elevator speech, as they say, about why you're running? What are the issues that you want to focus on as a city councilor?
Yes, I honestly don't have yet built like my elevator speech, right? But I can tell you about the topics, 'cause there are so many topics, there's so many issues, but the ones that I decided to pick and put it as a center of my campaign are economic development, housing affordability, and city budget. Those three.
Okay. They happen to be on my list of questions. If you have some others. So let's talk about them. Economic development. How would you see the city on that front? There's a lot of talk about things happening in the city, some big projects, the university, a lot of talk about this front runner city thing. Of course, we have the Hamilton Canal Innovation District, the HCID. A lot of potential there. And yet others, if you want to be negative, you can point to a bunch of empty storefronts in downtown, places that open and close within 2-3 years. How would you rate the city in terms of being able to foster an environment where economic development is possible for everybody?
Yeah, we need to work more, to foster that environment where we don't leave anyone behind. We're fortunate that we are in the eye of a lot of investors, and we're bringing some investors to Lowell. They are coming here. That's going to bring a lot of revenue and put us out there in the spotlight. But we also need to work with what we have here, with our people, with the business owners that are in business right now, and those who want to start businesses and make sure that they are successful. And also with human resources that we have, making sure that they are prepared to take on opportunities that come from all of these investments that are coming to our city. When I say human resources, is making sure that they have the academic level and the preparation that they need to be able to take on those opportunities, so they can actually thrive here within the city. So that's what I mean. We're not leaving anyone behind, making sure that we all move forward together.
Okay. In the Hamilton Canal Innovation District, they've been struggling to develop that for close to 20 years now. Do you have any thoughts on that? Should the city abandon this idea of an innovation district and just go back to HCD, Hamilton Canal District, which is, put as much housing as possible down there with first floor retail and call that a victory? Or should the city strive to get some kind of, big tower there, whether it's a housing or a commercial tower? What are your thoughts on that?
I would like, to learn more about it and see all the different possibilities, and make sure that whatever is picked there to happen is something that is going to impact beneficially and positively the majority in the city, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm all about, making sure that whatever decisions we make at City Hall, because we make some motions and we have that responsibility, that is going to benefit the majority.
Okay. You mentioned affordable housing. Housing in general, there's kind of a push-pull in the city. Folks who say we need more affordable housing. There are others who say we have enough affordable housing. What we need is some market rate housing, people with disposable income to come in and help support the businesses, especially the small businesses that are opening.
Yeah.
Where's the balance on that? Where do you fall on that?
You said the word, a balance. We need the balance on both. We need both. We need to make sure that people who are in the city already that don't have a place are struggling to find affordable housing, that they have that opportunity to thrive. But also we have to innovate and create these new housing for market rent, for people who are actually coming. Now that we are bringing some investment, there will be a lot of people that will be looking for homes around the area. So we want to make sure that we also have those type of units available in the city. So it's a balance.
How do you build affordable housing? And this is something that the CBA, which you've been, I think you're been the chairman of the board for a while now, right?
Yeah, for like 2 years.
That was a central part of their mission, building housing, especially in the acre neighborhood where the cities, the first generation immigrants generally come. My family came there, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of stories like that. But in this day and age of just, skyrocketing costs of everything and codes that didn't exist 50, 60 years ago when these giant tenement houses were built and so on and so forth. How can you successfully build something that's affordable in this climate?
It's a challenge. It is a challenge, but it's it takes a village at the same time. So that's when the private and the public sector come together to find these opportunities. Identify properties that we can develop, and then identify grants and funds that actually help us accomplish those goals. And now with all the different codes that are taking place in terms of sustainability, it's bringing the cost even higher. But it's doable. And again, it's just working with the city and the state to make sure that when we find locations that are appropriate to be developed, that we can get the right funding. But it's very, very expensive, especially because it's new construction, and like you said.
Let's shift to buildings and properties in the city. There's a lot of talk about the city not maintaining its properties very well, schools in particular, but also this talks about the parks and open spaces and whatnot. How do you think the city has fared in that regard, in terms of maintaining the properties that it owns, and is there something they could be doing better?
It's sad. It's a little disappointing that we have those issues currently in the city. It's being on top of things, and I think we can definitely do more and be on top of things and make sure that those are being taken care of. The city should be able to do most of the stuff, with the budget, but if not, then we need to find opportunities or innovative ideas to include the private sector, maybe to help us adopt or some of the maintenance services, and working with the community to make sure that those properties are being maintained.
Okay. I have to ask this question, and I promise I'll ask it of everyone else that sits in that chair going forward. But a lot has been made the last several weeks about the construction of Lowell High School and I'll use the word mess that it has become. In your mind, how did we get here? Was it an error in judgment back in 2017 when the decision was made of how and where to build? Was it a lack of oversight after the decision was made and they embarked on this process? Or was it just plain bad luck because of COVID and now because of unforeseen things that they're now just discovering that are going to tack on, I don't know, anywhere from 10, I've heard as much as $20 million to the price tag and potentially residents of Lowell will be stuck paying for that. How did we get to such a mess out of something that had so much attention paid to it?
That's a very good question. There were so many people working over, for the last few years, looking at all the bids that we got to build the school once it was decided that it was going to stay in downtown, right? So it will be good if we can go back and see maybe another contractor would have been doing a better job. I hope that the company who actually failed to make the construction accordingly to codes and properly, that they actually take some responsibility as well.
Right. There's been some talk of potentially seeing if there are legal avenues. Would you be
Yes.
willing to explore that if you were on the council making these decisions?
I think the conversation needs to happen first, and make sure that they do good because I mean they were given the opportunity to actually do something for our city and for our students. So it will be good to hear how they can help get it fixed.
All right. Do you have a political idol? Is there somebody that you look up to in politics, or maybe you think you might kind of pattern your style or the way you govern after?
Honestly, I don't have idols in politics. No.
Smart man.
Yeah, I do not. I just know that I want to do good. I want to do the best, give my best, make sure that I'm contributing to helping my community, helping the city to move forward, and make the best judgment that I can to make decisions that it benefit everyone.
Okay. We've talked about a number of issues out there, but I'm sure as you campaign, long way to go between now and November. A lot of other controversies will pop up in the meantime. A lot of other issues folks will start asking you about as you go to meetings and knocking on doors. But if people want to reach out directly to you, find out more about your campaign, what do you have set up, a website, social media? Please give all that for our audience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So everyone, you can find me on SixtoForLowell.com. SixtoForLowell.com is the website, and it has a lot of information about the campaign. We're trying to update it very often as we move forward. Also on Facebook, Sixto for Lowell. You can go there, or follow to see things that are happening during the campaign. Recently, we had our kickoff party here in downtown Lowell. It was last week. Very happy, very excited for the representation that we had there. We had anywhere from kids to people retired, from city officials, all the way to business owners and community leaders. So it was very exciting, very well represented, and that's part of what my campaign is all about. It's about community, it's about unity, collaboration, building bridges, and closing the gap between the city and some folks out there that voice are unheard. So that's where you can find all the information. Please support us by following us there at SixtoForLowell.com and Sixto for Lowell on Facebook. Also, I just want to give a shout out to a local poet. His name is Stephen Ansi. Last week when we had the kickoff party, he was present and he was able to listen to our presentation of the campaign and what it's all about. He wrote a poem a few hours after, and we published that in our website for Sixto for Lowell on Facebook. So if you can go read it, you will learn a little bit more about what our campaign is all about. And thank you, Stephen, for putting this awesome and powerful poem together.
All right. You mentioned you had your kickoff party and your first fundraiser last week. You have any more coming up that you can invite folks to?
Yeah, we'll have more. Okay. Please stay tuned through our social media. We have some venues already, but we don't have a date yet. So, but that's the way to stay tuned by following us on Facebook, Sixto for Lowell, and our website, SixtoForLowell.com. We need your support. I thought I knew a lot of people. This is a city of over 100,000 people. So I want to meet you all, and I want to hear from everyone.
Yeah, you're running in the whole city, so that's what, 65,000 registered voters. Completely different race. But Sixto DeJesus, thank you so much for joining us here. Congratulations on launching your campaign. Good luck. I'm sure we'll touch base a million times between now and then, and hopefully we'll get you and the rest of the candidates in for a debate as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And I apologize for calling you Sixto Lezcano, but he played for the Milwaukee Brewers in the 70s, and he was part of a great line.
Oh, so he was doing well. So that's good. Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you to Sixto DeJesus. Thank you to Sixto Lezcano for some great childhood memories as well. Most of all, thank you for joining us here. Hopefully, you know a little bit more about one of the newest candidates in the race for Lowell City Council. Till next time, everybody stay safe, stay, well, I don't know if it's warm or cool. The weather keeps changing in the middle of the day today, but until next time, everybody, stay safe. I'll catch you on the other side.